Welcome back, Virgo. Thank you for joining me. For your July 2020 ASMR Tarot Forecast. I have this month these two big chunks of quartz crystal. This one has some tourmaline and some smoky quartz included in it. And I think this one has a little bit of smoky quartz right here. I have this really nice rainbow moonstone. Lots of beautiful colors. To clarify this month, I have this little box, and inside are 3 turquoise nuggets, 2 fire opal, and 8 regular opal. And I'm going to use them to clarify the reading at the end. But before we do any of that, I'd like you to do something for me. I would like for you to take all of the fear, all of the hatred, all of the tough feelings, all of the upsetness, sadness, depression, any negative energy that you've been dealing with over the past month or so, wad it up into a tight little ball and send it right into this candle. Just let it burn. Let it burn away. Awesome. Great job. Thank you. This is the deck of tarot cards that I will be using this month. They're very psychedelic. The way that I'm going to do the readings this month is going to be a manifestation of our goals focused reading. So I'm going to start out with a significator in the middle, and I'm going to do past and future on either side of your significator. That's going to be your sphere of influence. That's going to be things both that you are able to control and things that are controlled by other people, just like any of your other social groups. Then beneath that row of cards, I'm going to pull another row of cards to represent things over which you have control. These are going to be things that you are able to control totally. Not just like meeting up with your friends and they say, I want to go do this. And you say, yeah, all right, that's fine. And then over that row of cards with the significator in it, I'm going to pull a row of cards to represent things over which you do not have control. And all of that is going to be predicated by past, present, and future. Alright, so here is your significator. And that is the King of Wands. Very interesting, Virgo. Very interesting indeed. Somebody who's acting with passion and creativity. And it's in the upright, so this isn't somebody who has a temper or anything like that necessarily. I would also look at what fire signs you might have in your chart and where those placements are. This King of Wands could also represent somebody who is a business associate or a romantic partner, but usually the significator represents the querent. It's very interesting that we got the King of Wands out first, because then the card crossing that is going to be the Queen of Wands, and she's coming out in the reverse, but basically is just crossing the King of Wands. So looking at this kind of like yin and yang, King and Queen of Wands energy. So there's definitely fire sign energy here. There's a lot of fire between these two people, depending on who they are. What about the past? We have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is about secrets and hidden knowledge. The things that maybe you know, psychic awareness. And she's between the two columns, representing the dichotomy of Hermeticism and also the Tree of Life. And she's got the scroll of the Torah on her lap, which represents that hidden wisdom. And of course, is the Moon Goddess. The future. It's the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups represents all of these things that are good enough, certainly, but maybe not your preference, right? So when we get into the manifestation aspects of this reading, we'll talk more about that. We'll deal with that. All right. So I've got this partnership energy, someone having hidden knowledge in the past, in the future, maybe not having the options that you want, but having plenty of options. Waiting for something better to come along. Yeah. Waiting for something better to come along. That's the Four of Cups energy. Alright, so something from the past that you had control over. And here we get the Nine of Pentacles, which speaks to financial independence and being able to take care of yourself. This is the current situation. Things that you have control over. You have the Star. Star is Aquarius's card, so if you have Aquarius in your chart, look at where that is located. And it's also related to the ability to become a star, to be popular, to manifest that kind of public energy. So I see that happening for some of you right now. And in the future, we have the Ten of Wands reversed. And of course, this is in the realm of things that you are able to control. So either this is in the reverse because you avert this disaster, or it's in the reverse because it's not going to happen just yet. It could be an ending that you want to come. And let's pull one more card to cross the Star. And crossing the Star. We have the Eight of Wands. And it's upright. So the Eight of Wands is swift endings. And of course the Ten of Swords is an ending as well. It's usually an ending that you don't like, but that's not necessarily the case all the time. Now we're going to enter the territory of things that are beyond your control. All right. We have Venus's card, which is the Empress. And it's very interesting that we have the Empress above the High Priestess. So it's like there are things that you have hidden knowledge of. It's possible you've been put on a pedestal, and that's something over which you would have very little control. So the Empress in the past position, representing that. Empress can be about motherhood, and the Empress can also be about divine creativity. Empress, I sometimes use the Venus correspondence as a Taurus correspondence too. I think of the Empress as a very Taurian card. Current things beyond your control. It's the Eight of Swords. Now, normally I would say that the Eight of Swords is more about the feeling of being trapped than actually being trapped. But because it's up here, beyond your ability to control, I might say that in this very unique instance, this is about being trapped and not having control over that. Which is very interesting because, of course, the things that you do have control over are bringing that to a swift end and winning popularity contests. It could have something to do with this coupling of the King and Queen of Wands. There's a lot of fire energy. A lot. Alright. And the future over which you have no control. And it's the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. So this could be you helping out friends financially. And it could be, because these are both reversed, it's possible that these are both the same time frame. It's also possible that there are different time frames in the future, but that this is about receiving charity rather than giving charity. Or receiving, like getting a patron. Alright, let me pull a clarifier for the current position of things that you have no control over. So we have the Four of Swords, and we have the Eight of Swords. Man, if that doesn't just sum it up, the current state of the world, I don't know what would. The Four of Swords is about a period of rest, but as you can see, this is kind of like a funerary scene. This is like a crypt in an abbey where this person is taking a nice calm nap, right? So it's more about torpor than just rest. And then, of course, that crossing a card that's saying that you are probably trapped. So that makes a lot of sense. This could also be somebody helping you out of that situation of being trapped. Because again, we have the Eight of Wands down below, which is something you do have control over. Alright. Alright, Virgo. So we have this one opal, which is one of the larger ones, has fallen right here between this stuck situation and this Six of Pentacles. So I think that kind of confirms what I was saying about somebody helping you out of this situation and that occurring in the future. We have our 3 turquoise, and they're making a line. So it's almost like they're connecting the 6 of Pentacles up here through this coupling of the King and Queen of Wands down here to the 9 of Pentacles to remind you of this place where you were able to, more than capable of taking care of yourself, right? It's very important to remember that. And I think because the line is made right through the King and Queen of Wands, that says a lot about what ends up happening to this situation and why it would be like this with the 4 of Cups over here, because you know that you're capable of this. And the High Priestess and the Empress even speak to that. We have this turquoise and this opal are very tightly paired, as are this turquoise and this opal and this turquoise and this opal. And they're all right here on top of the King and Queen of Wands. It's like you are thick with this other person. Additionally, we have these opals kind of forming this point. So I feel like there's some aspects of this coupling that feel like a stuck situation. The 2 fire opals here are kind of leading off to this High Priestess card. Again, thinking about how you used to have the secret knowledge, you had this ability to take care of yourself. And then we have this little opal just sitting there right on the edge of the High Priestess card. So I think what you would really like, Virgo, is to maintain your sovereignty. Let me know if I'm wrong, obviously. But it's a general reading. I want you to think about this 9 of Pentacles period of your life where you had more than enough to take care of yourself, more than capable of maintaining your own household. Think very hard about that time. I'm going to count backwards from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Great job. I want you to think about this possible coupling with the King and Queen of Wands. I want you to think about what that represents to you. Just think about that for a minute. And I want you to think about ways in which you can maintain your sovereignty within a coupling. And again, I'm going to count backwards from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Perfect. And I want you to think very strongly about the Empress card and the High Priestess card. Alright? And again, I'm going to count backwards. from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job, Virgo. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've had a good time. Please do like, share, subscribe, comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Love to know what you're up to and hear more about your lives. It really means a lot to me. And then I will hopefully see you again very soon.